everyone, this is Luminous coming guys with a pro to the commentary. Today I'm casting WDC semifinals series of Panda versus Nirvana China. This is match number 2 of the series, so if you didn't catch match number 1, I really suggest you do so because I will be spoiling the result in 3, 2, 1. Spoiling. Panda took game number 1 fairly easily with the lycanthrope and Rasta push. Nirvana China evidently did not see it coming because they got really outpicked, did not have enough counter pushing AoE, and then they just got knocked down really hard. Now this is my final WDC matches. To give you guys an update of what exactly is going on with WDC, WDC.com is casting all the replays that are released for WDC. And I drafted a whole bunch of Nirvana China games, as you saw. And, well, this is the last one of it. Now, of course, I'm actually dual casting a series, Navi versus DK. Yeah, a very coveted series with b-balling. So you could go to his channel and check it out. Those games are absolutely awesome. So you don't want to miss that one out. Of course, I think Nebula will be casting the 3rd place and also the final matches of WDC. Unfortunately, the replays haven't been released yet, and I don't think the replays will ever get released. Don't quote me on it because I don't get 100% confidence in saying that, but it doesn't seem like it's getting released because it's been, you know, a couple of weeks since the games are played, so not exactly too sure what's going on there. But yeah, if you're definitely looking for more WDC coverage, go over to commentators.com or yeah, check out b-balling because he will have some dual castings with me. But let's go back in this game. Nirvana China picking and banning first. They are in Sentinel today, and Panda's picking banning second. And you can see that despite having a really good game 1 performance of Lycanthrope, they are banning that one because guess what? They are more afraid of Nirvana China first picking it. And Lycanthrope is such a versatile hero in terms of picks because you could push with him, you could go for a later game strat. He has insane DPS, so the enemy teams has to prepare against him. Against a Lycanthrope, you are picking obligatory heroes that have counter pushing AoE, obligatory heroes that have good survivability. You might even have to pick heroes that have BKB spells that go through BKB, such as Beastmaster, Batrider, Venge. So I mean, just by first picking the Lycanthrope right off the bat, you have an innate advantage. So Panda says, let's not deal with that. We are gonna ban it. Shadow Demons, their second ban. Meanwhile, Nirvana China is banning the Windrunner, Invoker, and the Broodmother. So some of the strong heroes are still in the pool. Batrider's in the pool, Puck's in the pool, Lichens is in the pool, and I think those 3 are the more common bans. And let's see what Panda is gonna be choosing. They're gonna ban the Puck, which is a fairly standard choice considering that Puck has been played so many games in the Chinese league lately. If he's not really banned, he is literally 1st or 2nd pick. And this hero, I have to bump this hero up on the hero tier list because he is just so versatile. We see him play in many regions: European region, Southern East Asian region, Chinese region. And he's just having a solid performance. So it's going to be banned today. And meanwhile, we have Nirvana China is going to open up with the Batrider first pick, which this is not anything uncommon. And Batrider, if this was DK playing it, I could say, well, we're definitely going to see that Batrider is either going to take the solo mid position or solo bottom, the protected lane for Sentinel. But since this is not DK, it's hard to say that which lane Nirvana China will put him in. The reason that DK really loves their Batrider in a protected lane is that he will farm so well. He usually won't get ganked. In fact, he will probably gank the other team and get a couple kills. And what that allows him to do is have a 11-minute blink dagger, have a fairly healthy level, maybe 10 or 11. At that point, the enemy team won't have their nukes maxed yet. You have extreme mobility with a blink dagger. You have extreme tanking power, considering that you're higher level. They don't have their nukes maxed, and then you could just go and dive, initiate team fights, get yourself so many kills, and with those kills and those successful team fights, you turn that into tower advantages, you turn it into gold advantage, you turn it into level advantage, and overall you give your team an explosive start right in the beginning. And that's why Batrider, when played correctly, gives your team such a huge advantage. And we'll have to wait and see whether that's what Nirvana China is going to do. Because there's another way to play a Batrider, which you basically put him in the long lane and says, well, Batrider's not going to die because, I mean, how are you going to kill a Batrider when when there's a Firefly, you chase him, you're going to take a lot of damage. So chances are he's going to be a pretty decent survivor on the long lane. But that's what I call 大材小用, which is a Chinese proverb saying, well, just because he could do that doesn't mean you should put him on the long lane. Just because he could, because I think he could win the game by himself if you give him the correct laning. We'll have to wait and see what Nirvana.cn is actually going to do. And as I spent a lot of time talking about Bat Rider, we have Weaver, Shaker, and Clockwork being picked up by Scourge. And then we have a response of a Ancient Aberration and Lich being picked up by the Sentinel. Now, with the Scourge lineup, this might look a little bit defensive because we have a Shaker Fissure, we have Sakushi Time-Lapse. Weaver is probably one of the best defensive carry there is in terms of surviving. Of course, we have Clockwork, who's pretty good defensive in terms of his item set. Usually get a Vanguard Cloak, maybe Vanguard Pipe. And then he's going to go for, of course, Battery Assault Cogs to push everyone away. In fact, the Cog is going to be pretty nice dealing with a Bat Rider because he's going to fly in, he's going to get bounced back, he's going to try to fly in again and then get bounced back again. So that's pretty nice defensive spells for Panda. But don't underestimate the offensive power of this Panda lineup because look at the range of the initiation. The Clockwork Hook comes from afar. Of course, the Fissure, Stun. Of course, a Weaver Swarm. So they have a lot of aggression as well. But if we compare to the aggression power of Nirvana.cn to Panda, I think we all could agree that Nirvana.cn's aggression level is a lot higher. Because given that they have really strong mid-game team fight with a Bat Rider to initiate, Chain Frost bouncing left and right, Cold Feet, and Ancient Aberration Ice Blast, all being slowed by Napalm, Nova, of course, the Ice Vortex. So a lot of slow, a lot of AoE damage coming out from Nirvana.cn, and a very, very smart ban of the Obsidian Destroyer. Given that a lot of survivability so far is coming from the Frost Armor. The Sentinel lineup is pretty squishy actually. Bat Rider kind of gets tanky, but Ancient Aberration and Lich, they're really, really squishy heroes. And the Obsidian Destroyer could really take advantage of that with their Orb Hits. And guess what? Orb Hits will go through armor or magical resistance so that your Frost Armor won't be too effective. So good to see that Nirvana.cn is going to be banning that Obsidian Destroyer. Panda is going to be banning a Spectre. And then we'll have to wait and see what their other ban is. I wonder if they're going to be targeting the carries that they do think Nirvana.cn is going to pick. I actually think that Nirvana.cn could benefit from a Panda pick pretty nicely. Simply because, well, if you look at what Sentinel is really good at, they're good at mid-game team fight, they're good at mid-game aggression, and Panda fits the ticket perfectly in that regard. After you get your maybe 22-minute, 23-minute Radiance, you go for mid-push. You have Bat Rider's Blink Dagger by then. You probably have a Vanguard finish by then. Ancient Aberration should have level 11 by then, probably with Mecha finish, and you just have a huge surge of explosive power by tap point, and you should be actually stronger than the enemy team. You go for a push, you go for the racks, and basically bulldoze your ways in for a win. And I think Nirvana.cn could do this. Let's see if Panda's going to be onto it and banning that Syllabare. Of course, Syllabare is not the only way that Nirvana.cn could win. They actually have pretty other decent carry heroes. Of course, Sea King plays just about every carry hero he is, and indeed it's going to be a Void. And once we see this Void pick, the laning is going to be extremely clear. First, we're going to have Lich plus Bat Rider on the long lane. Yes, Lich Bat Rider on the long lane. Ancient Aberration is going to be going on the mid lane, and Void plus another support is going to go on the bot lane. Vengeful Spirit could be one, and Witch Doctor could be another. I actually think that... I was going to say Nirvana.cn should pick up a Vengeful Spirit right now, given that the Scourge team could really benefit from a Venge swap, because Venge swap will break the Flaming Lasso, and Venge swap will actually rescue someone out of the Chronosphere. But then I looked at the Scourge lineup. They already have a Shaker, they already have a Firion, that's dual support already. So Scourge probably won't pick up another support, and they thus won't pick up Venge. So Sentinel themselves don't have to pick up Venge. I hope that logic, the flow of logic follow. So thus they should pick up Witch Doctor, because we've seen clearly in the past Chronosphere plus Death War in the background. Ooh, that thing's gonna hurt. Of course, Chronosphere, if they grab 2 or 3, they're clumped up for that cask bouncing left and right as well. I think Witch Doctor is a fairly decent babysitter for that Void as well. So it would surprise me a lot if, let's say, Nirvana.cn picks up a Crystal Maiden here or a Vengeful Spirit here, because I think Witch Doctor is probably the best support in combination of this lineup. And the reason I was so sure that the Bat Rider and the Lich will go to top solo is because I know that Ancient Aberration will go mid solo. A good combination of the Ancient Aberration plus Void is, well, whenever your Ancient Aberration hits level 6, and have that Ancient Aberration Ice Blast up, plus the Chronosphere. You get a cross-map gank, a global gank, basically, and you get the Void basically a free kill. Void gets a couple of hits in, you pop off the Chronosphere, and then you say, hey, I'm chronoing, give me that AA Blast, so AA is going to send in that AA Blast from mid lane, and you're going to get yourself a kill. So that Witch Doctor indeed gets picked up here. So we have a really beautiful lineup crafted by Nirvana in China. They have a good balance of mid-game aggression, mid-game team fight. They push pretty well. They have good initiation in the form of Batrider. They have good initiation in the form of Void. So to me, I really like Nirvana in China's lineup. They're really balanced. Now, the only thing I don't like about this lineup is they put the Batrider on the top lane with the Lich. Of course, even if he gets really good farm, he won't have the level advantage I talked about. Keep in mind that. And again, in a solo mid bat, in a protected lane bat, you will have the level advantage where he gets the Blink Dagger, and also he will outlevel the enemy team so much that he could initiate without too much being fear of nuke down. In this case here, he might actually just get nuked down because he's going to be in a duel lane. I think that's going to be the case. Of course, we do see Tinker being last picked up here by Scourge. I think there might be a couple of reasons for this. Reason number one is, well, Laser gives the enemy a debuff of a 100% chance of miss for 2 seconds, and actually that could be a pretty decent way to deal with the Faceless Void, at least for the first 20 to 35 minutes in the game. After that, of course, Tinker will get Hex, and we all know what Tinker could do with a Hex stick, perma-hexing, and that's probably one of the best ways to deal with carries that don't usually get BKB. Void sometimes get BKB, but he really doesn't want to, right? He really wants to just spend that 4k gold for extra attack speed, extra damage, and if you force him to get a BKB, if you force him having a hero that perma-hex and basically force him to get a BKB, it's not that bad. It's actually a pretty good way to minimize his damage as well. So I think Tinker was picked with that in mind as well. And also, if you look at the Scourge lineup, they got pretty good global. I didn't point out this Furion pick too much, but they did pick up a Furion and will give them global domination in terms of pushing Creep Equilibrium. But another thing that Furion offers you is that global TP. Now you have a global rocket, and guess what? Tinker will be TPing in as well. They have a pretty good synergy of the rocket providing sight, and then the Tinker rocket shooting down rockets from afar. So really nice synergy from the Scourge side as well. I'm really liking both teams' pick. And again, it comes down to positioning in a Chinese game like this, especially when the Sentinel has so much AoE teamfight. Scourge gotta be really careful about positioning. Sentinel really aggressive in the early game outset of the heroes, but Scourge, similarly, they could pump out the early game aggression as well with the TP of the Furion. And this Furion, by the way, I'm not too sure exactly what he's skilled. He ate the Tango. Well, this is actually interesting. He eats a Tango. He already ate 2 Tangos, apparently. And he's trying to do some shenanigan right now. I think he's trying to do a stack, and then maybe pull this. We have to wait and see exactly what he's doing right now in the bot lane here. We have a little bit of harassment going against the Clock. Clock took a cask, took a couple of physical hits. Wow, he's really, really low, but survived with a Tango, and then he's going to be fine. Looks like we did see the... what is this sick jungling play? We'll have to wait and see. Trying to tank... I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to make this Centaur maybe run past here and then get a Sprout to block it off, so these creeps will follow all the way back. Unfortunately, didn't get it off, so that's one Sprout down. So this is kind of what I mean by the Chinese doesn't really love to jungle the Furion. I mean, he's jungling right now, but this is not a true jungle. True jungle is, he's summoning treants and go jungle. Let's see if he's going to do it correctly this time. Yep. Let's mark down the timing so we can learn from this. Sprout on the ground? Nope. So doubles fail by Hayabasu. Bas, whatever his name says. But that's pretty fail. But back in the mid lane here, we have Ancient Aberration at 4-2, 5-2 against Tinker at 3-2, so fairly even CS here as we see the supports doing a little bit of pulling here, grabbing themselves a couple points of EXP. Weaver on the top lane, good luck killing that hero before the Batrider hits level 6. But meanwhile on the Sentinel end we have Lich and the Batrider. Batrider picks up the boots of speed, and Lich continue doing the deny. This is fairly common top lane or long lane solos or long lane duel lane, excuse me, for Chinese games, where you have, looks like we're gonna make a gank on the Lich. Lich is gonna get sprouted for sure. And where's that Tango? There's a Tango out, and that's it for that gank. And Batrider doing a little bit of harassing against Furion. Furion's gonna walk out there just fine. Yeah, going back to what Chinese love to do on the long lane is where you pair Lich to a good survivor, where there's gonna be a Windrunner, where there's gonna be a Weaver, where there's gonna be a Batrider. On the top lane, Lich is gonna slowly deny the EXP, and because this guy's gonna be so good at surviving, you don't really have to worry about him dying. So slowly pull the EXP back to your tower, and then you out EXP the enemy that way. So, you know, it's a fairly decent way to lane it, but again, what I'm worried about this Bat Rider is levels, because level is a pretty big thing, especially when it gives you more tanking power, when you could dive a lot more offensively when you have better spells, such as, you know, more levels of your Firefly, more levels of your Flame Break would be very helpful. On the bot here, we do see Seeking free farming it up, because guess what? This Clockwork can't even go near Witch Doctor, doing an exceptional job in terms of keeping the Clockwork back. And there's really nothing you can do. Clockwork, unfortunately, the way that he gets farm is the way that he pushes lane. And even with the Witch Doctor pulling, a nice double stack pull, and that means it's going to deny an entire wave altogether. And that's less farm for this Clockwork to get. And one of the big thing about Clockworks, he needs level as well. And now he's not getting enough level, and he's going to have a really tough mid game. He's going to have to rely on his teammates winning it up in the mid game. Looks like we have Shaker coming around, and keep in mind the fissure. Yeah, there's a fissure. There's a TP in from the Furion, and Ancient Apparition knows. He knows he's going to walk in, and this Ancient Apparition have to go upwards, but he's going to try to make to the left to have a Sprout from the low ground, and because he ate the wrong tree, Pan's going to pick up the first blood. Nicely done here. And this is the early game aggression right off the get-go that Furion can provide you. And generally, a jungling Furion won't be ganking this offensively this early on. And the reason being so that the Force of Nature takes, what, 160 or 165 mana? It's a huge mana pool casting spell. So you won't have enough mana for that teleport and Sprout. And the Chinese players love to play their Furion not like that. So they don't actually use him to jungle until he gets a decent mana pool. You basically try to do some pulls, trying to do some ganks with Sprouts. But yeah, you gank right at level 1, and you go for the kills. And evidently they got themselves a kill. And you see Witch Doctor taking the bot rune. I do believe Tinker knows what's up, because right now Clockwork not seeing the Witch Doctor on the bot lane here. There's a Scourge Ward on the top, and they know that there's no rune spawning on top. The rune must have spawned on the bottom. So even though there's no sight here, Tinker knows what's up, and it looks like he's going to try to gank the top lane. And I'm not too sure whether he's trying to gank the top lane because he knows Witch Doctor is missing, or trying to gank the top lane if, you know, he doesn't want to deal with the Witch Doctor. But we have a really good Fissure Trap here. Lich is going to tank off from here, but there's a Sprout, and the Lich is going to try to tank off again. Unfortunately, there's this, looks like the Rocket's going to get the assist and damage, and Moo got the kill with the Swarm. Really nicely done. Witch Doctor unfortunately did not find too much, and he's going to go all the way back. And with the tower, with the Creep Equilibrium finally going to the tower, the Clockwork's going to have a fairly easy time in terms of getting some levels. But you can see that he's only hitting level 3 right here, as we see Void at level 6. So doubling the level here, and of course Ancient Apparition in the mid lane. Once he hits level 6, indeed he has it right now. They could just make it go on that Clockwork. A single cast, a Chronosphere, a couple of right clicks, Ancient Apparition out from afar. They could get the kill. But here comes Shaker. You gotta keep in mind that with the Shaker and the always constant +1 that Furion gives you, you could just get an easy gank. We do see Lich coming in here. I'm not too sure what the hell he's doing. He's leaving the lane. Generally, that's not exactly too good of an idea. Looks like he's going to try to get a ward off. Did get a ward off. This ward is not going to see the Shaker coming in from the high ground. And usually Lich doesn't leave the lane because he's so good in lane with Dark Ritual. And looks like he's going to Dark Ritual a little bit for the mid lane. Going to give the lane advantage to the Ancient Apparition. And whenever you're so close to your tower, you're not as afraid of a gank. And I guess that's what Lich is doing. Yeah, Lich is going to basically kind of keep the 9 creep on the mid lane and basically help out here. And Lich also going to do a little bit of pulling. Yep, you can pull this. Put this over here and deny at least 1 or 2 creeps here. So Lich doing a lot of assists on the mid lane. And this is, somewhat of a non-standard play, because generally when you say, well, let's go top, he basically says, well, he's going to be so good in the lane anyway. So, but no, he's going to leave the lane, which is, fairly non-standard. Moving on the bot here, we do have Clockwork, level 3.5, got the breach of speed and a stout shield. So given the fact that he's got no farm, at least got some items to show for, at least for now. But Void here is just relentless on that CS here. 7 minutes, 45 CS. Ooh, Seeking, man. If you give that man free farm, he will just farm it up. And he's going to make the Scourge team pay. So they got to make a gank on this Void a lot, or they have to win all the other lanes. Unfortunately, they're not really winning the top. In fact, there's no kill on the top. They are winning the mid a little bit. Where was the second kill? Did Tinker die? No, there was a kill top, sorry. There was a kill top on the Lich, and then there was a kill here on the AA. So looks like Tinker's going to be pushing the lane a little bit. Shaker's still waiting very patiently on the high grounds. Level 3.5. Did some really successful pulls to get themselves a couple EXP. But gotta be fairly careful because he needs a level 11 as soon as possible. Again, Lich doing a lot of pulling. If you're looking at the mini map, you can see that he's doing a lot of pulling, and again, that's gonna deny the Tinker EXP, but more importantly, pull the creep wave closer to towers to keep this ancient apparition alive and, you know, not get ganked. Because right now, a very dangerous ganking potential of that Shaker Fissure, TP in the Sprout, and of course this guy's gonna nuke you down. But looks like they're gonna make it go. Or no. Tinker doing a little bit of harass, and you can see that King J doing a good job in terms of keeping his HP level high. Because once you stay around, you know, 500 HP, that's the time that Tinker could kill you with a single Sprout, with a single Fissure. So King just gotta keep his HP level high. So right now we have a fairly standard and a tame farming stage of the game. Both teams not looking for too much action. Sentinel basically waiting for that Blink Dagger on the Bat Rider. Scourge waiting for EXP. Tinker needs EXP. Fissure, Shaker needs EXP. The Furion needs so much EXP. It looks like they are gonna make a gank on. There's a Sprout right here, and he's dead. There's a Sprout. There's gonna be mass amount of nukes, and it looks like we do have How the Tinker picks up the kill. Of course, he did take an AA Ice Blast to the face, but that's okay. They got themselves a kill. And he's going to bottle up afterwards. Let me see how he's doing in the gold department. Just 1,000 gold in the bank. And he's going to need a little bit better farm. I don't think he has the best of CS. He's only got 25 CS in 9 minutes. Looks like they're going to make a go on Gui. Gui's got to be really careful because they're going to have a TP in from Furion. Most likely on the cooldown, because if it wasn't on cooldown, I'm sure Furion would have just TP'd and got a Sprout off, and that would have been a kill. Furion always love to, or Chinese Furions in general, always love to go for Urn of Shadows, and that's because with the Furion pick, you aim to get a lot of kills, and you get a lot of Urn Charges. You can use those Urn Charges offensively for the future ganks, or to heal up your teammates, as he did with the Tinker just right now, to keep them in lane. So it looks like Lich and AA back in the mid lane, and despite being Lich here, they're still having a little bit of trouble. And looks like Tinker might be going on the top lane. No, Tinker just went back. Yeah, to get a little bit of CS, but Clock in a little bit of trouble. There's a cast, there's a jump in, and Chronosphere, and where's the AA Blast? Are they going to need an AA Blast? Looks like they don't even need an AA Blast, as Maledict claims that kill right here. But looks like we have Tao coming in. Looks like Tinker really low HP. Where's the TP from the Furion is the question here. There's a TP from the Furion. Where's the Sprout? Where's the Sprout? Where's the Sprout? Oh, missed Sprout, but looks like with the Sprout, the block on the Witch Doctor goes down. They're trying to make it go on the Faceless Void. Faceless Void very low. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast did miss from the corner of my eye, but it looks like they are going to still go in. Got to be very careful because Clockwork, oh, never mind. I was going to say because Clockwork close to level 6, and then I saw his EXP. Level 3.5. Really sad for that Clockwork. But his teammates got to be, you know, putting on the pressure. They are winning by 3 kills. And that's exactly what they need to do. Meanwhile, we have Bat Rider, what is level 8. Just picked up Firefly level 3 max napalm. A single level Flaming Lasso. Does he have the Blink Dagger is a question. Looks like he does. Will he pick it up right now or gonna go for Vanguard first? Generally you don't want to pick up a Blink Dagger right off the bat. Even if you have to go for it, even if you have to farm for it, you generally want to pick up at least a Vit booster to give yourself a little bit more tanking potential. But I think he realized that it's up to him. If this game's gonna turn around, it's up to him to turn it around. And looks like he's gonna pop a Smoke of the Seat, and looks like they're gonna try to make a mid gank on this Tinker, but it's gonna be difficult because first you have to deal with the Shaker stunning half your team, and secondly you have to deal with the threat of a TP coming in from the Furion. It's like they're gonna wait for the Bat Rider. A single jump in with the Tinker, they could just get him killed very easily, but they're just waiting right now. It looks like well, Tinker does see the high ground, but there's a blink right now. Drag, Cask, Maledict, Witch Doctor. Looks like this ult is gonna miss altogether, but that's gonna graze him altogether. Really nicely done. But we do have the ult. Looks like the Witch Doctor really low, gonna take a rocket and it's gonna go down. Looks like the Weaver TP's in with a Furion. There's a swarm grabbing everyone. Ancient Aberration is gonna go down as well. Shaker plus Weaver is gonna run past the tower, no problem here. Here comes a Void TPing in. Can he get no? Nice Fissure from the Shaker. They're gonna slow him down a little bit. Where's the Chronosphere? Where's the Chronosphere? No Chronosphere gonna be dropped. Does he have the cooldown? Looks like he didn't have the mana. Oh, that was the issue there. And very nicely done, but looks like Weaver's still chasing it. Void very low. There's a rocket giving him side as well. Where's the Tinker rocket is the question right now. Weaver's not going to chase despite the Void. Doesn't have the mana to drop off a Chronosphere. You don't really know who's going to be hiding in the fog for the Sentinel, so not going to chase, but looks like Scourge is going to grab himself a tower. Really strong counter ganking from Scourge. And that was the potential being shown. Nice cast gonna be on the Shaker. Shaker gonna get nuked down the tower. Unfortunately, got killed here. But Ancient Apparition Ice Blast is gonna hit nicely. Unfortunately, don't have too many follow-up stuns, and that was the end of that engagement. But yes, going back to what I said earlier, really strong counter ganking potential from Scourge. You see that Tinker got grabbed in the beginning, but before he died, he dropped off all his spells. And we had Clockwork, we had Weaver TPing into tower, we have Furion TPing in. Suddenly that was I think a 2v4 gank. Yeah, they just had I think a Tinker here and a Shaker here, and suddenly that developed up to 5 heroes for the Scourge in the mid lane. That was really good response time for Scourge. And they're still staying ahead, 3-7. Let's check out Seeking's doing the farm. He's got 66 CS and a whole bunch of denied. That's another tower deny here being picked up by Nirvana China. So Scourge, Sentinel's carry is leading a lot of in terms of farm. Unfortunately, Tinker's only got 38 CS. Weaver has got 50. So Weaver's falling a little bit behind in terms of CS as well. Scourge players got to polish their last hitting capability a little bit better, because I feel like especially Tinker in the mid lane, he should have got a lot more CS than he has. But they are winning the game in... they did lose a Clockwork, I believe, yeah. They are winning the game in terms that they're getting a lot of kills, so they don't have to be too worried about that. But looks like Sentinel catching up with that Clockwork kill. Clock is just not having a good game at all, man. Just barely level 6. He's got the Vit booster. That's going to give himself a little bit more HP. But at this point, he probably should have Vanguard finished and maybe a Cloak. And at least level 9 or 10 to start the ganking route. But now he has to go back to the mid lane. And it looks like he just sold his Stout Shield. The hell was that about? He's not going to make a Vanguard? Oh, sorry. Sorry. I was looking at the Weaver. No, he still has his Stout. So my bad. My bad. Yeah, he is going to make his Vanguard. Of course he's going to make his Vanguard. Why? That's why I was so confused when he stole his Stout Shield, or when I thought he stole his Stout Shield. It looks like we have a huge creep stack here, and Shaker is going to drop his ultimate to get a little bit of farm, which is fine. It's fine. I mean, Shaker right now with Zelda. Ooh, it looks like we had a mid game going on. Cronus for reviewing. They put down a Sentry Ward just in case. Cask, Kofi, Death Ward being dropped. That Weaver had no chance to survive throughout Chronosphere. So nicely done. But yeah, going back to what Shaker did in that occasion, like early game Shaker's Echo Slam, not only does it not do too much damage, you have a fairly difficult time in terms of landing it as well. So it's okay if you're gonna blow it into a huge juke wave. Looks like on the bot here we do have Clockwork. He sends some things up, man. He's like, you know what, people are missing. I don't see him on top lane. Might be ganking me, and a good 6 cents here from the Clockwork is gonna put himself in a fine position. He's gonna just stay back in the tower and keep rocking out the lanes. And you know, it's okay, it's okay. We have Void farming in the mid lane here. His farm is non-stop, 74 CS. But guess what? Once the BOTs finish, and this is gonna be non-stop gank. As we say, gank attempt on the bot lane. They're gonna make a kill for sure. Clockwork gonna use all his spells before he dies. Wrath of Nature, or excuse me, yeah, Wrath of Nature comes in right now. We have a Sprout from the Furion. Unfortunately, a little bit too behind, and he didn't really get any initiation of. He had to Sprout the Bat Rider, but with the Firefly on, he was absolutely fine. But with the Swarm still chasing right now, Rocket's gonna give them the sight. Lich is gonna go down. Can Witch Doctor TP out? Indeed, he does TP out. Where's the Bat Rider? It's a question. Bat Rider is gonna just stage nearest the tower. There's a Weaver right now, and he's really low. A couple more right clicks is gonna bring him down. Indeed, he's gonna go down to the urn offensively, being dropped down on him by the Prophet. Tinker gets up a double kill, and guess what? He's gonna go back to the lane, grab himself a couple of mana points, and TP at top. One of the best things that Tinker could do is harass your carry to no end. BOT finished. He's gonna go right into lane, I think, or he should. There we go. And he's going to pick up a Soul Ring as well. That's going to extend his mana level by so much. And basically every time he sees you, he's going to just Rocket Laser, Rocket Laser, Rocket Laser. And that's going to keep Void out of the lane. Void either have to spend a fortune on healing salves, or he has to just farm the jungle. I think this Void has to just give up the lane. And this is one of the best way to kind of counteract the good farming advantage that the enemy team has. Is just to stay TP in the lane and keep rocketing. Keep rocketing, and then it's just going to annoy the enemy carry to no ends. What Sentinel needs to do is actually start baiting with this Void and be like, oh yeah man, I'm just farming here, come in here and rocket me, and then have a Bat Rider waiting with a smoke. Have a Witch Doctor waiting with a smoke. And once they see this Tinker, they blink in, go for a kill him a couple times, and be like, do you want to really try this again? We know what you're about to do. If you try to TP and harass our carry, we'll just kill you. So they got to make this Tinker pay, and with the Blink Dagger Bat, they could definitely make it happen. So we'll have to wait and see. Of course, Tinker could do so much more. He could push lanes. He could join team fights immediately. As long as he has a mana to do so, he could really abuse his hero, abuse the global presence. So suddenly we have a Clock that has a global spell. We have a TP from the Furion that's global. And of course, we have that Furion Tinker as well. So any big scale engagement could really go into their favor. They need to drop a Sentry Ward right now. There's a time lapse. Chain Frost is dropped right now. Tinker TPs immediately. Where's a Furion? We have a hook in, and there's a Sprout on him as well. But there's a good Chronosphere grabbing the Furion. Furion half HP. Can they bring him down quickly enough? Very low. He is going to go down for sure. Lich is going to be low as well. Can they bring out the Clock? Clock's going to get slowed down by the Ancient Aberration. Yes, he's going to go down as well. Seeking picks up a double kill. Weaver is going to pick himself a double kill as well. The team fight continues. We see the the Void forced to jump out, but Gui picks up a kill here as well. That Gui was a Witch Doctor, probably got a kill from Maledicent. Yes, it did against the Shaker. It looks like the Weaver is going to TP out. So trading double kills here and there, I think that might have gotten the favor of Scourge a little bit more, considering that the Weaver survived throughout all of that. He got a dose of a double kill. He also got himself a lot of assist gold. Of course, Tinker got himself a couple of kills and assist gold as well, so that was pretty nice. Of course, the saving grace for Seeking is that, well, he got himself a double kill, so he's so much closer to that Battle Fury. I think he's going for Battle Fury. He does have a Perseverance. Yep, so it's going to be a Battle Fury build. And Battle Fury really good in Void in terms of speeding up his farm. You could push the lanes fairly quickly. And with the Tinker in the enemy lineup, you generally want to actually get out the lane as soon as possible. So having Battle Fury where you cleave down the creep wave so very quickly is nice. You just cleave down the creep wave, go back to jungle, and as soon as the next creep wave comes, then you put back, you go back to the lane, and then you cleave it down really quickly, and then you go back to jungle. So basically what I'm trying to say is it minimize your time in the lane with the Battle Fury. And when you're minimizing your time in lane, you don't have to worry about that constant rocket harass. Looks like Scourge might be going for a bot tower push, and this tower with the creep equilibrium here, with all these creep waves here, looks like they are going to get this tower for free. Sentinel not looking like they're going to defend this. They definitely don't have the position anymore, as we see so many creeps being summoned by the Furion, and they're going to get themselves a tower. Let's see who's going to last at this. If Tinker going to last at this tower, How does last at it. Let's see how much he's doing on the gold. He's got 1,000 gold right now. I think 4 staff should be the next item in consideration. Yes, Hex is a really good item. But in such early game fights where movement speed is so important, especially when you're dealing with the Chronosphere. Of course, you can't force staff your teammates out of the Chronosphere, but you can force staff the Void away. So that's it's pretty decent. Of course, when the Bat Rider is chasing you, the force staff would be pretty helpful in terms of running as well, dealing with Chain Frost, dealing with the Ice Vortex slow. Ancient Aberration trying to farm up that mecha. Unfortunately, not the best farm on King J. He's only got 39 CS. Both mid lane just not having too good a farm. Tinker 20 minutes in, barely hitting 50 CS. And of course, King J 40 CS in 20 minutes. This is not characteristically Chinese level farm. This is really bad farming on both sides. But their carries are farming well. Seeking's farming well. Weaver's farming well. It looks like Furion and Tinker going to be farming all over the jungle right now as well. Both teams content to trade farm here and there. And I think both teams, even though they feel like, okay, I have a Void, that's probably the better late game here. But Scourge, in my opinion, they have the more threatening supports, because Tinker, once he farms up to his Hex, well, that's one of your heroes getting perma-hexed. Once Shaker farms up a Blink Dagger, well, good luck with that. Team fights. Of course, Prophet most likely going for 4 staff in this case, but he could go for Necro Book. And then after that, he's going to go for a Hex as well. So we have pretty decent Hex carriers on Scourge. And Sentinel, you don't want to stay too long and find out how many Hex they're actually going to buy, because that's actually always a dangerous thing. But looks like Void, 21 minutes in, 115 creep kill. He's got the Battle Fury finish. Manta Style most likely is going to be his next item of choice. He can turn this into a Vanguard, but it's not a high chance that he will. I think in this case, you could get things like a Manta Style that will give you plus 10 strength. You get items that will give you both DPS and HP. So, and someone's got to make a gank on this Void, because so far he's 3-0, got a whole bunch of CS, and I don't think Scourge could outlate this. Well, again, having better late game support might say something about this, because Shaker, Furion, and Tinker, these are probably some of the heroes that are really good transitioning into late game. The reason that Sentinel right now is playing so defensive, of course these 3 supports really just clumping together, and that's because you never know if that Furion is TPing in, that Tinker is TPing in with a treant created by the Prophet. You never know if the Clockwork is gonna hook in, so gotta always be very careful. Unfortunately for Clockwork, he's barely level 7 right now. And that's gonna he's gotta find himself some EXP. And Tinker right now not helping out. Tinker's like, oh, I'm gonna push your wave, I'm gonna take all your farm, and I'm gonna share the EXP with you. He does have the Vanguard finish, gonna go for a Cloak of Divines right now. Maybe he's gonna get a Strength Shreds, but he really needs to have the extra survivability. Tinker grabbing a lot of farm. I wonder, no, it looks like he's gonna just save up for at least an Ultimore right now. And he's gonna skip the Force Staff altogether. Okay, that's fine. Still think Force Staff is probably a must because you're up against the Void, man. It's always dangerous to deal with that. Looks like Weaver does have a Radiance finish. Haven't been checking out his farm. But yeah, he's got 90 CS in 23 minutes. Not the best, but he's got himself a lot of kills. 4, 1, and 3. So a good amount of score. With that Radiance finish, he's got a VIP booster that's going to turn it into a late game heart. And looks like they're going to make some sort of bot push. Sentinel knows it as well. We do have a BKB going to be the item choice of Faceless Void. And that's the deal with the laser. That's the deal with the fissure. That's the deal with all these spells coming in from the Scourge. I don't think BKB is absolutely necessary, at least not in this stage of the game. Not before Tinker finished his Hex. I think picking up Mantis out or Yasha first might be better, and then says, well, okay, well, they have a lot of stuns now, or the Tinker has really close to his Hex now. Now I pick up the BKB. Because with the threat of picking up BKB so early is that, well, once we get to maybe 40 minutes in the game, this BKB charge duration is going to be down to 5 seconds. And, you know, for 5 seconds, you're God. But after that, you know, you're going to have be a little bit trouble being perma-stunned. Because you definitely know that Scourge is going to save every single stun for you. As you see a 5-man smoke going to go on the top lane. They're going to find themselves another team that's smoked up right now. Maybe they're trying to make a gank on this Weaver. Weaver should know what's up because, well, no one's up on. Yeah, I'm going to put on Scourge Vision. As you see, actually, you see the Void right now. Void's going to jump. Ancient Aberration, Ice Blast. Where's the Chronosphere? Bat Rider comes in right now. Cast bouncing left and right. Chain Frost finds them. Shaker's going to go down for sure. But no, it looks like Pan gets killed by the neutral. They're going to lose the Clockwork for sure. Clockwork, but they are going to pick off the Void. Void drops off a Chronosphere. Going to work on the Furion. Furion very, very low. And looks like Tinker should have been focused instead because I think Tinker's probably the more dangerous hero. But it looks like Void did go down. They're going to try to chase down Tinker. Tinker very low. There's a blink in. There's an urn being used on him offensively. He is going to go down. This team fights all over the place. But here comes Weaver on cleanup duty. We have TP Scroll going out. Lich is going to go down nonetheless. Triple kill being picked up by the Weaver. And I think Void leading the charge probably wasn't a good choice. Because, I mean, even though he jumped in, well, he got focused down too quickly. So, as you see, unfortunately, Witch Doctor didn't have a TP kill. TP Scroll and Ultra kill being picked up on this Weaver. Definitely not a good trader. As the Sea King died, and then another 2k go for the Weaver. Weaver's actually going to just go straight for a Reaver, and he's going to add 500 HP to his HP pool, and good luck killing him, like as if they could kill him now. They really need to drop off a Chronosphere for him, a Death Ward, a Maledict, everything for this Weaver, and just kill him outright. Because if you don't kill him, guess what? The Sentinel don't have any good stuns. They have a cast. They have a Flaming Lasso. Flaming Lassos, you know, don't even consider it as a stun because that's going to be used as the initiation. So after that, how many stuns do you have? 1. And guess what? If you have 1 stun and you can't kill the Weaver, he's going to just chase you to Earth's End and get so many kills. And this Weaver's got to be... I gotta say, how are you going to take care of this Weaver? Can you take care of this Weaver? Yeah, they really need to kill him outright with a Chronosphere, or they're not going to kill him at all. And that's probably not a good way to go about it. Tinker back in the mid lane did get a Ultimate Orbs. How much gold does he have to bank? Just 200 gold right now. Looks like... Ooh, he spent a good deal of gold. He bought Power Turrets. Okay, that's fine. Giving me a little bit more survivability through the plus H rank, which is fine. Both teams waiting. They really need a Blink Dagger to get this Weaver. And even with the Blink Dagger and the Weaver, you have a very, very small window of time to actually blinking and Flame Lasso. There's a very, very small fade time, but generally because of the long casting time of the Flaming Lasso, Weaver generally could get away. Unless the Weaver has a really slow reaction rate. So the Bat Rider has to blink in and drop off a Dust to actually get a gank off. Or drop off a Central Ward or whatever. We'll have to see if they could make these ganks on Weaver. Weaver, by the way, haven't got ganked really. He's 8-1. The only kill they got on him was on this mid lane. So Weaver's going to keep farming. Again, Panda's one game away from going to the finals of WDC. Meanwhile, Nirvana China in an uphill fight. In this game, they're in an uphill fight as well. If you look at their support, Lich level 10, Ancient Aberration level 11, Witch Doctor level 9. And again, they have to stay close together because they're always afraid of a Tinker coming in, they're afraid of a Freon coming in, they're afraid of a Clockwork coming in. And you can see that even though the Scourge team is not playing their heroes offensively, they might as well be playing offensively because they're keeping the Sentinel back. They can't really do too much aside from the Void farming. And I guess Scourge says, okay, you know what, we're fine with the Void farming because our Weaver's farming. Even though in a 1v1 engagement, Weaver's not as good as the Void, but considering that the enemy team does not have any stuns, considering that we are keeping, we keep killing the Void, you know, with all these advantages, we should be fine with the Weaver trading farm against the Void, and I agree with that. Weaver's gonna be up to 3k gold very soon, yeah, up to 2,400 gold now. He's gonna pick up the Weaver, and he's gonna be up to about 2,000 HP with Sakuchi, with mass armor, with time lapse, with mass regen from the heart. Ooh. Good luck killing that guy. And they're allowing Tinker slowly to pick up his farm. He's up to another 1,000 gold. Does he have the Mystic Staff is the question. Nope, he doesn't. Nothing on the Crow yet. Meanwhile, guess what? If both teams are trading for farm, the Prophet could farm in the jungle. Looks like he does have 4 staff. And where's the Shaker? Shaker's going to take the farm. Or take the EXP in the mid lane. He's got the Arcane Boost. He's got level 9. Of course, he wants level 11 and a Blink Dagger as well. But it's going to give up the farm to that Tinker and the Weaver, who could use farm a little bit better. Shaker's only got 450 gold, so no Blink Dagger aspiration just yet. Looks like we have a BKB finish on that Faceless Dark Terror Void. And are they going to set something up? Are they going to go for a mid push is the question. Or are they going to use this BKB and keep on farming? I think that's the answer. Gonna keep on farming, which is fine. So for the remainder of the game, or for the next couple of minutes, I want to go into Sentinel Vision and just show you how little they see and how scared they are. So like, okay, we see a Weaver, man. We can't really make a gank. We gotta all just stay back because we don't know. We really just don't know where the hell the enemy. We're gonna see Tinker and we're gonna see Weaver. By Furion, Shaker, and Clockwork keeping themselves fogged, and right now they're probably jungling. Yep, we're jungling. We have 2 guys tailing behind. They're basically using this Weaver to bait. They're using this Tinker to bait. Meanwhile, they farm up and be like, "Oh man, you want to gank on us? Because we could. It looks like we're gonna make a gank on that Void. Void's gonna just get the heck out." So they're fine with that. So, anyways, constantly the Scourge is hiding 2 or 3 heroes behind fog, and there's nothing the Sentinel can do about it. Sentinel could initiate and try to jump the Weaver, but there's a high chance that the Weaver will survive, and then we'll have a Furion TP in, and then we'll have a Tinker TP in, and you don't know if Clock and Shaker are waiting in the back, so you could actually theoretically jump into your death right then and there. So it's not like Sentinel is like, oh man, why are they just farming? Why aren't they actually doing anything? It's because they're too afraid to do anything. They can't do anything. So Weaver is going to be the only one showing himself, and let's see what the Sentinel responds here. Are they going to try to defend this tower? Tower really low at this point. Voice says, okay, I'm going to just farm right here. Almost 200 CS, and you can see a Clockwork just might revealed himself in this position. Yep, Purple did get a ping off. And let's see exactly where Scourge is right now. Scourge is still waiting very patiently, looking for the gank. Weaver does have that Reaver up to 1900 HP, and Void might be coming in right now. Bad Rider looking for the drag, and that's exactly what I mean. He has to pop the BKB. Looks like we have a hook in here, and Ice Blast is going to hit. BKB is going to pop, but where's the Chronosphere? Seeking, trying to jump in against the Clock. They are going to pick off the Clock. Where's the Chronosphere? Need a Chronosphere right now. Nicely done. Picks off the Weaver, and now are they going to go for a Shaker? Shaker very low. It looks like he does have a couple of spells, but he does get bashed. A couple more right hits going to bring him down. The cold feet is going to take in, and looks like they are going to get the kill. So really nice engagement for Sentinel. I think Scourge definitely was a little bit too rambled there. Once Jinzak blinked in and popped the BKB, they didn't grab the Weaver, right? Because again, like I said, he blinked in, but unfortunately the Flaming Lasso duration was just too long. So he popped off the BKB. The Bat Rider popped off BKB almost by instinct. And I think at that point here, Sentinel should just back off, or excuse me, Scourge should have backed off. You're like, you know what, just wait for BKB to cool down and then we'll come back. At that point, they couldn't really focus on the bat because he was so tanky. He was just in front of everyone. He had BKB on. They don't really want to focus on the Void because he could always jump out. And the rest of the Sentinel support had decent positioning. They had the Lich in the back, they have Ancient Aberration in the back, and then they have Witch Doctor in the back. So those heroes never got killed. When you have 2 tankers in the front and 3 supports doing AoE DPS on the back line, that's pretty decent positioning for the Sentinel. And I felt like Scourge did not initiate that fight properly. They got the lucky end where the lasso missed the Weaver, and they should have just waited out the BKB and then just come back. But a little bit of mistake. They lost a Weaver once. Seeking got himself a couple kills, got himself a couple assists goal, and then he got himself a Mask of Madness. So this Faceless Void is actually going to be doing a lot of damage at this point here. Plus 60, plus 24. Massive attack speed, of course, innate high damage, plus 100 damage already. Now doing around 200 damage per right click. You gotta keep in mind that time lock does give you a little bit extra damage each time you bash, so you could actually kill the Reaver fairly easily with a single Chronosphere. And if he's not checked, and guess what? With the BKB up, they can't really do too much against him. There's no spells that go through BKB from the Scourge side, so Scourge is actually in a precarious position. Looks like they're gonna try to go for the Roshan. Can they is the question. Gonna go back to the Sentinel vision. How much do they see? They don't see anything, but they should know. It looks like I think they do know. They're like, okay, Roche is coming. We gotta go right now. Wrath of Nature being popped, and this is the annoying aspect of Furion. Like you don't even have to be there. You're pushing every single lane, and Sentinel trying to jump in. And let's see if they're gonna be Scourge not gonna be able to finish the Roche quickly enough. And that's going to be end of that engagement. We do have a Mystic Staff being picked up, and looks like they're going to go in right now. Tinker does see them. And both teams jockeying for position. Scourge Ward is going to see everyone. Sentinel Ward, or Sentinel Sentry Ward is going to see everyone as well. And Tinker says, okay, you know what? I have Soul Ring. I'm going to just keep everyone back. But meanwhile here, Furion pushing her top lane, and as soon as Sentinel sends one person to defend the top and the mid lane, I think that's cue for the Scourge to go right back in the Roche pit. And that's the advantage of having Tinker. That's the advantage of having Furion, because they could just grab yourself that creep equilibrium advantage, or if you don't grab it, we'll just get our free tower. That's fine as well. So Scourge has got themselves a free 1,000 gold, simply because Sentinel says, okay, we don't want to go back and lose a Roshan, because they feel like losing a tower is fine, but losing a Roshan is not fine. Furion says, okay, gonna keep pushing. Keep on pushing. And we see 5 guys on the Sentinel still. Scourge, Panda doing an exceptional job. They haven't lost a single tower right now, winning the fights when they need to. They have only lost a fight when they're actually pushing, so it's okay. They haven't lost any tower yet. Still baiting around the Roshan area. And it looks like Furion threatening to go for the high ground, and this is time to send someone back as soon as they see this void. And it looks like immediate ping here from Brown. Yep, they saw Void to jump on the top, and it looks like we have everyone going back to the Roche pit. Both teams exactly knowing how much Roshan can mean. They keep pinging this Void. Void not leaving, and Void finally leaves right now, but they have a good amount of time to bring down this Roshan pit. And I'm going to keep the vision on Scourge for now. They do see Pink just running back. It's the Witch Doctor. Can they bring him down? It's a question. Tinker's going to TP out, and they know they don't have enough time. Let's check out the minimap. Yep, Void is on the way. And again, they did all of this blind. Like, they don't see it. This is just good awareness from the Scourge player overall, and they're going to just back off for now. But Furion going to be right on it again. They know the Void's here. They're going to go back and push bot. And what is the Scourge going to do? Are they going to initiate a team fight? We have massive amount of TPs going on bot lane. Tinker, can he make it out? Yes, he is going to make it out, barely. They baited a TP score on the Faceless Void, yet a secondary amount of pings going back to the Roche area. Void not going to be in position. Looks like Tinker and the Furion are going to threaten the top lane. Indeed, they are going to be threatening the top lane. And that's going to pressure the Sentinels so much. They have to defend bot. They have to defend top. They have to defend mid. All the meanwhile, Scourge taking the Roche. And Bad Rider says, I'm going to just go in for the Roche. And Scourge backs out once again. They don't see any defense going on the top lane. Don't see any defense going on the bot lane. Looks like finally we have a TP. That is from the Ancient Apparition going to top. And is this the time for the Scourge to take? Yep, they're going to go try it once again. And the positioning of this game is just absolutely flawless from Panda. They know exactly when to go, where to go. Hex's finish on the Tinker. And I think finally this time it is the Roshan going to go to Scourge. I mean, they still don't see where the Void is, but they see where, 3 or 4 of the other guys. That should be good enough. But no, looks like Batrider still threatening to stop this Rosh. And here comes a Void. Is he going to jump in? Is the question. Where's the jump? No, he gets stunned right now. Jump in. Chronosphere. Chronosphere grabs 3. Going to focus on the Tinker because he has the Hex. Mask of Madness did bring him down. Second kill against the Furion. Furion very tanky at this point. Trying to force him out. No, double kill goes on Seeking right now. But Weaver did give himself that Aegis. Looks like we have the Urn on the Shaker. Shaker's going to go down as well. But Seeking really low. Triple kill goes on the Seeking. Unfortunately, he did give the kill to Weaver. Weaver time-lapse out, gonna get himself another kill. So double kill on Moo right now. Gonna go for a triple kill. Yeah, cancels the TP. Moo picks up a triple kill himself. That team fight started out really nicely for the Sentinel because Seeking got a triple kill, but unfortunately they did not back out. Weaver just got too many kills to basically counteract, and they got themselves an Aegis of Immortal as well. You gotta keep in mind that the Sentinel fought that team fight in a disadvantaged position though, because when they at the start of that team fight, they had a couple guys on the top, they had a couple guys in mid, and they just fought that like basically 2v4 in that team fight. And that's what Furion does for you. That's what Tinker does for you. You force your opponent's hand, be like, okay, well, do you lose top tower, do you lose top racks, or you lose a Rosh? And basically, I think Nirvana and China basically have to ask both. They wanted to defend top, they wanted to keep Rosh, and they lost both. So I think Nirvana and China should have committed more in either case. If you're gonna give up the Rosh, just give up the Rosh and defend all your towers. If you're gonna give up your tower, then just go for a full-scale team fight and hopefully win that way. But of course, both of the moves are really risky. If you give them the free Aegis, Weaver with the Aegis is basically unkillable. I mean, he's already unkillable. You make him more unkillable. If you give up the top tower and go for a full-scale team fight, if you lose a team fight, you just lose racks. So Nirvana and China have to ask both. They lost the tower. They didn't lose the racks. They gave away the Aegis. Of course, they still came out behind, but it could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse for Nirvana and China. They could have just lost the game in one move. So, I mean, I can see what Nirvana and China is doing, but they're falling behind, man. Again, one game away from being eliminated in the tournament. Right now, let's check out how Reaver's doing in the farm. He's gonna pick up a Talisman Evasion after Heart. I really love this item choice, because the only thing that he has to worry about with Heart and Strength Shreds is about physical damage from the Void. And Void can indeed still bash him to death. So it's gonna pick up a Talisman Evasion right now, and that's a sign that Void has to go a MKB. He really wants to go Butterfly to stack the double evasion of the backtrack and of the Butterfly. Of course, evasion does not stack. Mechanic, it does not stack, but Void's backtrack is not true evasion. We call it pseudo evasion, and what that means is it's a trigger heal. You take the damage and then you heal it back, and then you have, of course, the natural evasion that Butterfly gives you. So whenever you play Void, if you ever gets up a Butterfly, and you have max items on a Void, you could basically call GG, because physically they could hardly kill you. If you have BKB, of course, and all that stuff. You have a lot of evasion, you have a lot of survivability, you have lifesteal most likely. But unfortunately in this case he would love to get BKB, he would love to get Butterfly, but he just can't. He has to deal with the Weaver now, so he has to pick up MKB. Or at least I think he should pick up MKB. Whether if he picks up Butterfly or MKB is, another question altogether. 2,800 gold right now, still not committing to any item, maybe saving for buyback. A little bit threatened that if you lose one team fight, you lose the game, given that you lost all of your exterior towers now with a Tinker and a Furion on the enemy team. You could just lose your base so very quickly. Gonna go back to Sentinel Vision real fast. What do they see? Nothing. Just think on Sentinel and how pressured you're up. Like, you can't ever go out the base, because you know that there's a BOT Tinker now. You know that there's a Clockwork. You know there's a Furion could be TVing in. God knows what Furion has. Probably has a Force Staff and a Urn. Yeah, it's gonna be going for a Axe Scepter. And anytime you go out, if you don't go out 3 or 4, you're gonna be in big trouble. You're constantly seen, given the fact that you just took a Wrath of Nature, so you know that there's an enemy reward there. You constantly see, you don't see them. They have good initiation with global TP with Hex with Hook in, and you are just staying in your base. And Scourge says, okay, we could play this for 40 more minutes. It doesn't matter if Void's getting farmed right now, because he's getting starved. Scourge is farming, all over the map. They're farming all the lanes. They're farming probably both jungle at this point, because they have complete map control. And Void basically get one wave of creeps every 30 seconds. And because he can't go out of the base. Let's see exactly what Scourge is doing. Yep, they're farming here, they're farming here, they're farming here. They're going here. They can go farm the Ancient whenever they want. They can farm the enemy jungle whenever they want. And collectively, they are out farming the Void by a huge ton. And this is why a lot of times we see Chinese games go forever. Sentinel says we can't go out because we'll lose the game. Scourge says we're fine not pushing because we're gonna win the game eventually. So even though the game right now, Scourge side has a huge advantage, they're not really fully committed in terms of preparing to win the game right now. So gonna take this time to check out CS, check out item progression, and talk about why certain items are good in certain heroes. All right, let's look across the board. We have 107 CS on the Bat Rider, 42 minutes in. That's really low. Ancient Aberration being a solo mid, 2 CS per second, 260 CS on that Void. That's pretty good. That's really insane CS. About 6.5, 7 CS. Furion's got nothing. 173 on the Weaver, 50 on the Clockwork, and 110 on the Tinker. You can see collectively, I gotta say, Scourge not actually leading as much farm compared to raw CS, compared to Sentinel, but actually look at neutral, right? 109 neutrals, 32, 50, 1846. The Scourge all have mass amount of neutrals, and Sentinel, not so much. Bat's got a couple, but that's it. So with the neutrals being added, Scourge is leading by farm so much. Let's check out how the levels seeing. We got 18, 15, 13, 20, 12, 15, 10, 24, 13, and 17. Actually, Sentinel is actually doing better in terms of level, and that's actually a little bit surprising. Scourge team looks like they might be looking for a push. Indeed, they are going to do it right now. Butterfly finish, heart finish, and an Aegis still on this Weaver. And how the hell are they going to kill this? Do we have MKB on the Void? He got a Demon Edge. Unfortunately, with a Demon Edge purchase, he doesn't have enough. Oh, I think he does have enough buyback. Yeah, he should be fine. So let's see. Can they defend this is the question. Tower gets picked off. Void still looking for that perfect 5-man Chronosphere, but good luck finding that against another Chinese team. Tower being nuked down. Tinker and the Clock just staying back and nuke. And this Weaver with the heart says, don't really care. Gonna go up and right click a couple towers. And constant amount of harass coming in. And there's really nothing much the Sentinel to do. Tinker just gonna just keep harassing everyone back. And it's gonna make you lose mana on the Witch Doctor. Gonna make you lose earn charges. And he could do this all day. And guess what? Suddenly you have to deal with the bot lane as well, because Furion's pushing there with Wrath of Nature. And looks like we have a Blink Initiation going against the Reaver. Probably not a good choice, because he's got time lapse. He's lost half HP. He's going to time lapse out. He's got the BKB Void, unfortunately. And they're going to try to focus on Shaker. Shaker's going to die so very quickly. Shaker dies immediately. Need to focus on Tinker. Need to focus on Tinker. We have Furion at half HP. Furion's going to be fine. 4-staff out. Void's going to go down. He needs to buy back. He has to go for buyback. Clockwork half HP. Bat Rider still doing damage right now. We have Void jumping back in. Rax at half HP. Weaver is gonna says, I don't care, gonna keep on right click. We're gonna have a TP in from Teal. We have Shaker buying back as well, but he really have to keep walking in. Does he have a blink dagger is the question. He doesn't have the blink yet, but he should have it fairly quickly. And after that exchange, nothing really happened. They forced a Void to buy back. They lost agents, I think. I don't think the Aegis was even gone. Yep, they still have the Aegis. They lost a Shaker. Shaker bought back, walked back in, and Void blocked back, and that was it. But right now, with this a new engagement happening soon, they don't have the Chronosphere anymore. Void doesn't have the buyback anymore, and this is just a game. Like, they could just basically walk in there. Again, Void without Chronosphere is just a big melee creep that could jump and do a lot of damage. And right now, the Scourge team doesn't really care. They don't really care about clumping anymore because there's no more Chronosphere. They take this bot rack with top racks with relatively ease, and they're gonna just swing mid and take that one as well. Looks like Tinker adding a little bit of pressure on the bot lane and going to take that game as well. So Panda playing this flawlessly. I don't think they made a mistake in this game. I don't think they did. And it's not to say that Nirvana.cn played badly. It's just that they got outplayed. Panda with a beautiful strat. Maybe they realized that the Roshan fight was going to be so important. And the byproduct of having a Furion and a Tinker is, well, global power, pushing every single lane. And they're going to wait for the Aegis to respawn fairly quickly. We do have Acceptor finish on the Prophet. Normally I'd be like, oh man, this is a pretty bad item build. Because, why do you take so much farm and not get a Hex? guess what? He doesn't have that many farm. He's got 87 CS for a 46-minute game. He's not using the Wrath of Nature like most Prophets would. Most Prophet just spam the Wrath of Nature every time it comes off cooldown and steal a lot of Weaver CS. Instead, he gave the CS to the Weaver, and he's only pushing for lane advantage. He's only pushing, like, during those Roche fights and when they need to push top. He's only using the Wrath of Nature for tactical reasons. He's farming the jungle all day long, and he doesn't have too much farm to show for, and he's got the Axe Scepter. And the reason I love this Axe Scepter is, guess what? In that last engagement, the Void really want to kill this Furion. It's like, normally when you see Furion, it's a free kill, but he's got like 400 HP. Yeah, about 400 HP, 200 HP, and then 10 strength. So that's going to give him a lot of HP to work with to tank, and he actually survived for a long time. Shaker eventually went down, but not the Prophet. So the Axe Scepter keep helping him in terms of survive. In terms of late game instances, the Wrath of Nature plus Axe Scepter will just push all the lanes so much. Looks like they're going to try to GG push this one up. Nirvana China, can they defend? Is the question. Ancient Aberration coming in. He does have Ghost Scepter level 16. Void Chronosphere is up. The Ruben Weaver says, I don't care. I got Butterfly Evasion. I got Heart Regen. I could just tank Tower. I got Tank Crit Wave right in the beginning. And Void got to be very careful. You don't want to take a Hex from a Tinker. Tinker is going to stay back. Keep on rocketing. Keep on rocketing. Tower eventually goes down. Furion summons more tree. Reaver stays in. And the reason that Prophet could stay up so front like this, because he's got the Axe Scepter HP. He's probably got enough gold to buy back. So even if they focus him down, don't really care. They're going to jump in right now. Immediate fissure against L. L is going to be in huge trouble. He pops the BKB. Where's the Chronosphere? No, he gets Hex. Need to perma Hex him. Indeed, he will get... No, there's a BKB right now. Nice lasso by the Bat. Going to try to focus him down. There's a Chronosphere. Chain Frost being dropped as well. Pretty nice team fight from Sea King here. They can try to focus out on the... Look at his HP. He's going to tank, tank. Oh, but those Spash is too much. Sea King grabs himself a double kill. Going to go right in for the Clog. Clog at half HP. Clog gets bashed to death. But right now, it's a pyrrhic victory because in the meantime, Moo picking off every single support because there's no stuns to stop him from doing so. Tinker buys back and TP's right in. Prophet doesn't have buyback, which is a huge surprise. No, he does have the buyback right now. He's going to buy back. And of course, Weaver at the meantime. Going to right-click down towers, right-click down bases. Buyback from the Furion, TP's in. And this was a fairly well-played game from Panda. A well-played game on both sides, but Panda especially won the game, had a good, nice control. And I'm just really sad Nirvana and China, both games, I felt like they got kind of outpicked. This game did not have enough stuns, and here we go. Looks like Void's going to jump in. Nice cast, though. But this doesn't matter too much. Moo with the Aegis and a time-lapse, so he's fine. Moo, Mega carrying this. 15, 2, and 7. Legit score, 205. GG's going to be called. And we have Panda taking the semifinals of WDC. And they're going to be advancing it to the grand finals. And they're going to be going up against the winner of... winner of some other series. So, don't want to spoil. Hope you guys enjoyed this entire series. Hope you guys enjoyed the WDC casting. I'm done with WDC casting. We have SMM coming up very soon, so don't worry about that. There's a couple of Dream Cup games being uploaded. Of course, if you're still wanting to have more WDC action, I'm casting a series with B-Balling. You could check that one out on his YouTube channel. There's more WDC casting on DotaCommentaries.com. You can check those out as well. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the entire WDC casting and this commentary as well. As always, this is Luminous signing off. GG, guys.